It's very difficult to keep a politician away from a mic. Yes. And I really want to commend the administration of this school first and foremost, because if it were not for the institution, and I've been at your prize giving ceremony, and I see the attention to detail to motivate every single child. And I think Ariel started off well. You do not have to be the brightest bulb in the park, but you can become the most determined person, the person who sacrifices the most. Some of the qualities in life are not for sale, and you cannot buy them. Courage, determination, the willingness to sacrifice, and to motivate yourself to go the extra mile just when you're about to close that book. That's where everybody gets a C. When you open it back and you find it a little more interesting, and you read a little more and you take some notes, that's where you begin to get a B. And when you think you've done more than enough that any student could ever do in life, and you say, nah, this one is to get back at them. This one is for all the times that they made me feel that I didn't know, that I was not smart. This is all the bad things some of my friends told me. This extra hour, or this extra 2 hours, is for that A. And there is where heroes are made. And that's the lonely place. And that's where you walk if you want to succeed, and you want to do well, and you want to be a leader in life. And I think it is very important when I look at the society today, and you see some of the ruin that has happened to our young people. We are using our technology not to build, not to empower, not to grow, not to educate ourselves, but to entertain ourselves, and to make our minds sloppy, to make our minds lazy. And when we should really be using this technology to enrich our lives. So we have that choice every day, and everybody has one, whether you get to use it in school or not. That computer in the palm of your hand, that can help you to transform your life, no matter where you are at this time, because it enables you with technology that has never been given to any generation. We now live in the knowledge generation, and your potential and abilities, the sky is the limit. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. A pleasant good morning. I was indeed honored when the principal asked me this morning to come and speak, because I remembered when I was in Form 1 and Form 2, this has been a long-standing tradition at the school where scholarship winners would often return. The first thing I want to share with you, in my experience, the recipe for success is hard work, persistence, and sacrifice. I think far too often there's this misconception that you need to be super smart or super bright to succeed and to win scholarships, but it's not. We just need to be willing to work hard. What do I mean by working hard? Working hard is waking up late. At Cape, everybody knows, and this is a must. You need to find what works for you. Coffee, green tea, stay up and study, because your input equals your output. You need to be willing to burn the midnight oil. Do the extra work other than what your teachers demand. Go that extra mile. Do your past papers. Secondly, perseverance against all odds is vital. Even though you may not think you're good at a subject, that should determine whether or not you persevere and keep trying. You must do this. When I entered Form 6, I did a very weird combination. I did literature, sociology, and pure maths, and I had previously done sciences. And I felt completely out of place. For the first term, I didn't know what I was doing because there was so much reading, but I didn't give up. I kept persevering. I did the extra work that I knew I needed to do because I had liked and enjoyed the subjects I was doing. And for Cape, I think you need to be your biggest motivator, because at the end of the day, you need to be willing to do a lot of the work by yourself. So you must choose subjects that you really enjoy. Sacrifice is another part of it. You need to be willing to make short-term sacrifices for long-term success. And this is a reality. What you do now, the sacrifices that you do not make now will benefit you in the long run. Right now, as scary as it may be for me to have to leave UWE where it's nice and warm and I have all my friends to go to another country and study, I'm willing to make that sacrifice for the long-term success and getting a better job in the long run. Sacrifices for you right now would be not going out every single weekend, a reduction in your social media time, buying textbooks instead of clothes, to not put a burden on your parents. These are the things that you need to be willing to do. One of the greatest pieces of advice I got was from one of my teachers who said, the best thing you could do for yourself is go in that exam room knowing that you have done your best and there wasn't anything you could have done to make yourself more prepared. You want to have no regrets when you leave that exam room because you get one shot at it. Better grades now will mean better jobs down the road. Better grades right now means you're getting into this class that you want to get into. If it's the science class, whatever form in, it's never too early to start to take your work seriously, because the truth is you study habits, you study techniques, your work ethics. These are things that build and develop as you move across into Form 6. Lastly, my advice to you is not to be fazed by distractions. I've had friends from all walks of life that I've made here, and you're an Asja girl, you do not use it as hurdles and obstacles in your way, but reasons to motivate them. Because at the end of it, when you get that certificate, it's your name. Yes, when you get that certificate at the end of Form 5 or Form 6, or your name is published in the papers, it's your name alone. You are responsible for your own success. Lastly, everything is done in moderation. You can't study all the time, make room for other things. Enjoy our struggles. I wish I could return sometimes. You make the best friends here. And sometimes, even I got in trouble. I had to do community service in the building, but you learn, and it's a learning experience, and it helps you grow and develop. Lastly, I think that paramount to success is belief in God and having a strong faith system. You could study everything in the world, and something in the exam is going to come that you don't know, and that's when you say a prayer and you move on. When you're studying 3 o'clock in the morning or 12 o'clock in the night, it's God who you have to ask to keep you calm and to help you in these stressful situations. Last but not least, it would really be remiss of me to stand up here and talk about success without mention to my teachers, my #1 guides. I couldn't have done it without you, especially my literature, my sociology, my pure math, and all the teachers who have taught me during my time here, as well as to the dynamic duo of Miss Mars and Miss Ramadharsingh. While I was in Form 6, I was also vice head girl, and it was a lot of responsibility, but they were always so incredibly understanding. So thank you, Miss. Thank you for listening to me this morning. I hope I have made a difference. So go that extra mile. If you spend 5 more minutes doing revision this evening, I think my talk would have been of some use in your life. So thank you very much.